Mario Galeno Jr. I'm going to be talking about the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, or for short, the CGNG. Like, I'm going to be like mostly talking about like their origin, their growth, and their like global impact. And this is like where all like their cartels are like mostly kind of located, or where they are mostly. And was it like, imagine like, was it for like how like a cartel, like you never know what happens. They could like lure you, or it could be by like a job offer.
Hold on one second. Go ahead.
But it wasn't, next thing you know, it could be like a trap, and obviously if you refuse, you might be tortured or killed sadly. And was this like reality to like hundreds of people like who face like today because of the CJNG. And although it seems like it seems far, like Mexico, like it's very serious of like the effects on like
Target interruption. All the JROTC raiders that are leaving for state, please report to Major Carroll's room at this time. Thank you.
It could like obviously affect drug trafficking, border security, and like public safety. And with that, like that impacts like obviously again a lot of countries, like including United States. And like their operation like shows like the criminal organization, like how they adapt and like grow powerful in a I guess global world. Like I guess for example, they like evangelize like they will take advantage of like weak people or like their weakness, like in law enforcement and also the border security, which like will also make them like hard to track or like to find them at all. And I also search and review like reports like from the United States Treasury, or like the OFAC or AP News, and also academic studies. And like they're like the CGNG grows like finance and like how they recruit them too, and like their violent tactics. And these like resources reliable and based on like their underground territory, like mostly again how they travel. And they're like orient and back leadership. Like how his formed was like back in 2010s from Solano Cartel, and like there's like also like leaders like Lorenzo Roman El Mancho, or Organa Cervantes, known as like they're like brutal and like rapid like rise. And like they were also like known for like public acts of like terror, like they'll like leave bodies just to like scare the public, and they will also like warn their rivals, like other like gang members or cartels. So like because like that was their method to like put fear in them, so that way they won't obviously mess with them. And these are El Mancho, and obviously his kid and stuff like that. And like he also like torture and kidnap them, and like obviously again their brutal tortures and stuff like that. And also like the United States like government has like labeled them of like the most like dangerous like transnation of like crime groups, like obviously with others like was it US and DOJ. Like it shows how serious like their law enforcement takes threat from the CGNG and their like growth methods, and like this is how they make millions, like too, with like money and stuff like that. They like make millions by drug trafficking, and obviously all the other drugs like cocaine, meth, heroin, or fentanyl. That's how obviously they get their money from other like people like cartels and stuff like that. And how they make these are like also labs and transport networks and like their torture. And this is where like they're also also located where they are, or like where they take their drugs also. And then they're like, and how they expand. They also expand like out like the United States or like Asia and like Europe, shockingly. And their fentanyl is also like linked to U.S. optional price, like acts like of government in some like Mexican towns. And then obviously impacts on society. Like impacts on society, like again, fear, violence across Mexico. Billions earned through drug trade, seen as one of the most like dangerous global cartels. And like this is their death total like of like they're like from drugs mostly, like overdosing and stuff like that. And most of the conclusion is like obviously is all under mental and violent growth and public tactics, again, torture, stuff like that. And global influence and threat. And the CGNG is more like Mexican cartel and it's like global force. And so I think you should ask yourself like, what's the responsibility if we do consume of like knowing or not like particularly like the illegal drug trade. And like as citizens, what should we like expect from governments, both Mexico and like beyond, or like to take stronger, more action on against like groups like the CGNG, and before like the influence become even like more powerful. And that's it.
Okay, thank you.